Good evening, Bermuda. With me today is the National Disaster Coordinator, Mr. Steve Cusham, and the Bermuda Weather Service Deputy Director, Ms. Michelle Pitcher, who joins us via phone. Hurricane Fiona continues its track towards the island and is a threat to Bermuda. Late this afternoon, we convened an emergency measures organization meeting to get the latest updates on Hurricane Fiona. At this time, I'm going to hand it over to Michelle for a weather briefing based on the 3 p.m. forecast. Following her briefing, I will discuss other related matters. Michelle?
Good afternoon, Minister. Thank you. And good afternoon, Bermuda. As of 3 p.m., Hurricane Fiona was a Category 3 hurricane, and it was currently 704 nautical miles to the south-southwest of Bermuda. The closest point of approach is forecast to be 103 nautical miles to the west-northwest at 4 a.m. Friday. Hurricane Fiona is shaping up to be more of a seas event, as hurricane force winds are currently forecast to remain just outside our area. Storm surge is likely to be about 1 meter or 3 feet. What this means is that low-lying areas will be more prone to flooding, and that we should expect more flooding with Fiona than we saw with Earl. Seas outside the reef are currently forecast to be reaching 45 feet in the western marine area as Fiona passes. Sustained winds will be in the strong tropical force range, which is 50 to possibly 60 knots, with hurricane force gusts. However, at this time, we cannot rule out the possibility of brief hurricane force winds, especially in the western marine area, western parishes, and exposed and elevated places at the height of passage. Please note also that there is plenty of time for the forecast to change for better or for worse, so please keep up to date with the details. And we will be issuing a tropical storm watch this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. So Bermuda, considering this latest information, I can advise that the Bermuda Police Service, the Royal Bermuda Regiment, the Parks Department, the Ministry of Public Works, and BELCO are ready for this storm. The EMO will be meeting again tomorrow morning when key decisions will be made depending on the latest forecast concerning public services. Now is the time to be finalizing your preparations. We are anticipating that Fiona will cause some issues for those living in low-lying coastal areas who have had flooding in the past. So please, we are urging these residents to take the necessary safety precautions. As far as Thursday is concerned, we are assessing public services, including public schools, government offices, and buses and ferries. As I noted, specific decisions regarding these services will be announced following tomorrow's EMO meeting. Based on the projected forecast, and with the weather expected to significantly deteriorate Thursday evening, we expect that businesses that are open in the evening hours will likely be affected. So we are encouraging businesses to make any necessary plans in preparation for Hurricane Fiona. Overall, my key message to the public is to prepare. Bermuda will be impacted by strong winds associated with this hurricane, so please use the next 48 hours to get storm ready. In respect of the airport and flights, an announcement will be made on Thursday. Travelers should contact their respective airlines to stay abreast of any flight information. As we have heard from the Bermuda Weather Service, we can expect high surf conditions over the next few days. Our lifeguards within the Department of Parks will be monitoring our beaches and will be putting high surf signage along public beaches. Please keep out of the water. There will be dangerous surf conditions. A specific note about garbage. There will not be trash collection on Friday. This includes recyclables. Bermuda, my closing message is this. Every storm is different, and by their very nature, storms are very unpredictable. Bottom line, make sure you have the necessary supplies for getting through Hurricane Fiona. This includes having enough food and medicine on hand, securing your homes, property and boats, having enough water, and most of all, checking in on our neighbors and vulnerable people to ensure that they are prepared and able to get through this storm. My next update to Bermuda will be tomorrow afternoon. But until then, please stay safe and please take care of one another. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. At this time, we'll invite members of the news media to come up to the microphone to pose any questions that you may have.
Good evening. Would you mind repeating some of the pertinent details from what Miss Pitcher said, because I honestly couldn't hear all of it? Are you able to do that?
I can paraphrase it for you.
Yeah, please.
Which is, the hurricane is a little too to have. Are expecting tropical storm force winds to impact the island Thursday evening, starting around 9-10 p.m. and we do not know when they're going to cease, probably late morning. And we are expecting 4 hours of 50 to 62 knot winds between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. And we don't know about hurricane force winds yet. So tomorrow morning with the 10 a.m. EMO meeting, Bermuda Weather Service will brief the EMO and will be in a better position to know what those timings look like with Bermuda Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center. So we know we're going to be impacted, but the storm might change a little bit, either towards us or further away. So we need to prepare, and we need the community to prepare just in case.
Okay, thanks. You mentioned some chance of flooding. Are there any areas of particular concern we should know about?
So we've seen what this storm has done in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic and Turks and Caicos. We're not expecting that much rain, and we're lucky that we're made of limestone, so the ground easily absorbs it. So we're expecting 1 to 3 inches of rain. So those areas that traditionally have some flooding issues during hurricanes, they should assume they're going to have a similar problem during Hurricane Fiona. But our flooding doesn't last, it goes away quite quickly.
What kind of preparations can people make in those areas?
So sandbagging up their doorways. I mean, government's probably going to be sandbagging the government offices anyway, as a precaution.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I just want to know, what do you say to those that may be tired and wary of preparing? What encouragement can you give them?
Well, there are helping services if people are beyond their wits' end. Otherwise, reach out to neighbours and community, and there's helping services to help them do it. If we prepare as a community and not as individuals, it makes it easier for us all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, members of the news media, for coming out for today's news conference. And that concludes our news conference for today. Thank you, Minister, and Mr. Caution, and Michelle Pitcher from the Weather Service. Thank you.